What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin at the request of Tony P. Tony, you requested this yesterday. Looks like you found the video that I made yesterday shortly after your request. Maybe I didn't post it by the time you requested it, but I was planning on making it regardless. So here we are doing one at your request anyways. And, yeah, so looking at this here, looking at Bitcoin, I do want to toot my horn a little bit, right? I very confidently said yesterday in yesterday's video, I said Bitcoin high is in, lower prices await. I said that I made that video yesterday before we even had this wick up or anything like that. We were just kind of at the closing price. I was very confident that was the high. Leaving the door open, of course, to go higher, right? As always, you never know, but things are looking a bit more. We could still go higher than that high. It's possible, but I was confident yesterday. I'm even more confident today that was the high. I even made a short video on that day, an actual short, saying that I expected that to be the high, with again the door to be open for it to go higher. It could go a little bit higher, but nonetheless, I think we're in the high area. But that's not really what I want to talk about. I want to talk about I want to do some February analysis. I want to talk about the month of February and how it's performed statistically for Bitcoin, because I was watching Eric Crown. If you guys know Eric Crown, he's a very I would say talented mind in the crypto space. He's a very talented trader and investor, chart analyst. Respect to Eric Crown for sure. He said, and I was watching his video today, he was saying that February is generally one of the more bullish months for Bitcoin. So let's go over that and see if that holds true. We've got a green month there for February, 60% up. So that's one green month. We'll go to July, or the 11th, February here, another green month. So that's two green months to 0 red months. The next February was in 2012. That one was a red month. So 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 3 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 3 green months leading, 4 to 3, 5 to 3 taking the lead, 6 to 3, but that's kind of a neutral month. I'm not going to call that a bullish month. I mean, it is a green month, but I'm going to say 5 to 3 with one neutral month. Can we do that? Can we do that? I like to do that. 5 to 3, one neutral month. There we go. 6 to 3, one neutral. 6 to 4 right there. Kind of a neutral month in itself, to be completely fair. It's less than a 10%, but we'll just do 6 to 4. I'm making sure I'm doing it right here. 7 to 4. 8 to 4. Last year, another neutral month. So 8 green months, 4 red months, 2 neutral months. Yeah, predominantly pretty bullish. In other words, you have 8 bullish months and then 6 that were not. Okay, so to just kind of think of it like that. How many green Februarys have you had in a row? What was the most you ever had in a row, right? Let's see. 1 here. I know you had another one here too. So 2, and then you stopped. I wish I did this the first time. That's 1 there. Not a consistent one. Let's see. 1 there, 2016. 2, 2017. 3, so you've had 3 in a row before. And then a neutral one. That was a pretty bearish February. You came down a lot and then you came up. Decent recovery, but we'll say 3 bullish Februarys in a row so far. Right, 1 there, and then not 1 there, and then, yeah, I'm just making sure. 1 there, 2022, 2 there, and 2023. So 3 has been the most that we've seen so far. Yes. And this one was neutral. The other one was neutral, so that's 3 or 2, however you want to look at it. I would say, we're kind of in a similar situation. I would expect that this month of February would be red, just based off of what I've just seen personally. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green months in a row. That this one was kind of neutral, but we can see here this month here, what this is called is a spinning top. You can look it up. Actually, if we go to, and I was looking this up too, I saw CNBC said Ether takes center stage as Bitcoin heads into one of its strongest months. February being one of the strongest months. CNBC calling it out, that's a death omen right there. As anybody who's been in the space for a while probably knows. But I want to go to the patternsite.com, look up candlestick patterns, and we'll scroll all the way down to S's. Spinning top. Spinning top. That's what that is right there, right? As I mentioned in the introduction, by the way, this is a website promoted by a man, produced by a man named Thomas Bolkowski. He's a very famous and well-respected trader, very successful trader, and just has some of the most data, if not the most data, available for free off of trades that he's made over the decades, man. Like literally like over 40, maybe even over 50 years worth of information that he's been recording and calculating. So all of this stuff is literally, all these numbers are based by his experience that he's been documenting for a long time. So the patternsite.com, free website to use. Feel free to just delve into that, man. You can learn a lot, honestly. Don't take everything with a 100% certainty. He's very experienced, he's a very smart man, very calculated, and a respected trader, as I said, respected investor and speculator, but he can be wrong. And his analysis can be wrong. And not everything will apply 100% of the time the way that he says it does, you know what I mean? So I've even found things that he says that I've noticed in my own personal experience. I've tweaked it with what I've experienced and used kind of what he said, but tweaked it my way, and it still works, right? Like, take that as you will. But as I mentioned in the introduction, the black spinning top works in theory as it does in reality. Indecision. It's an indecisive top. Yeah, that makes sense. Price breaks out in any direction almost equally with a frequency rank of 1. The candle is prolific, so you will see it as often in historical. You will see it often in a historical price series. The best move 10 days after a breakout occurs when the price drops. Blah blah blah. However, the best performance rank is 58 after an upward breakout in a bull market. The difference between the downward move in a bear market and the best performing rate coming after an upward breakout in a bull market is 1 of a degree. The first is just the best average move that the black spinning top achieved. The rank is in comparison with other candle patterns. Okay, cool. So, I mean, I don't really understand all of that, but basically what he's saying is it can move up, it can move down, right? So it can move up, it can move down. After 5 months, coming in, I would say we're in a bull market, but just because we're in a bull market doesn't mean it has to break upwards. It absolutely can break downwards. He's saying that the best performing ones, if you're in a bull market breaking upwards, it's going to be the best performing one. So odds are that this spinning top breaking downwards in a bull market, it's not going to be the best performing breakout to the downside, which means it's going to be a more tame breakout, right? In my opinion, that's kind of how to think of it, right? Just like here, you had a spinning top right here. You broke out from it, sure, to the downside, but it wasn't dramatic, was it? You actually recovered quite well after that. Where here you kind of had a spinning top, broke out to the downside in a bear market, much more dramatic, right? Prime example right there. I think that's actually a very, very good example, right? Spinning top here, right there. In a bull market, you broke out to the upside, and just look at the follow through, right? Beautiful. So anyways, here we are, spinning top up here, potentially breaking out to the downside. I would think that this takes us down to our price targets again that aren't too far away from here, but probably around 34.9K, right around this 0.5 is what I'm thinking we're going to go to. There was something else I wanted to do. Looking at February specifically. I don't know, man. I think we've done all of it, right? You've got 8 good ones, 4, right? It was 8, 4, and 2, I believe. Yeah, 8 good ones, 4 red ones, and then 2 neutral ones. And the most that you've seen that were green technically were 3. We've had 3 green ones in a row now. It would make sense that this one turns red. So I very much do expect the month of February to close red. Now, does that mean that we just like crash down like this? Probably not. I do expect it to be a more tame kind of result. Looking at the weekly RSI, being overbought for so long and then coming out of it, I think we need to chill for a little bit, come down. On the bright side, we can come down a lot and still maintain these higher lows, right? Still completely look beautiful on a weekly perspective with this RSI. And we're just starting to slip, man. We really are showing a lot of indecision. Just look at, like, that's a pretty bearish candle mixed with an indecisive candle with a bullish candle, and then like it's just going back and forth. I very much do expect the price to just kind of continue moving down. I wanted to clarify something before I end this video. I feel like I've been doing a lot of talking, but let me see, maybe not that one, sorry. I'm talking about the price going here, right? Roughly there, a little bit lower than that, but whatever. And I'm assuming that the price gets there maybe about a month before the halving is my thought. So somewhere around here, so right down here. At the current price to that line, if we drew a straight line, it'd be something like that trajectory. Now, a lot of people have it in their mind that this is what's going to happen with Bitcoin. If it's going to move down, it's going to do this. If it's going to move up, it's going to do this, right? I'm proposing the idea that maybe it does move down rather fast still, but just not in a straight line down. You know, that's my genuine opinion. I think that there is, as we see with these candles, there's a lot of indecision, so we might psych people out. As soon as we show some bearish signs, we get a lower low, that's when we'll pump, and then we'll get near, like, give the bulls some more hope, as if we're gonna break this and go higher, and then that's whenever we're gonna go down again, and we're slowly gonna work our way down to this price. Maybe at the very end of it, the last move, we'll see some kind of flash crash, but here, you know, we moved down, we had an initial flash crash, but we consolidated for a very long time. Just because we had our low here, we didn't actually have our low there, but just because we moved down really fast here didn't mean that we just recovered quickly or immediately, right? We meandered for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, found our low, and we were like slowly creeping and crawling our way out. We didn't really start moving until about 4 weeks after that too. So more or less, we chilled in this range for about 8 weeks, right? I'm thinking that it could take another month to 2 months before we see the low, and probably literally right in the middle there, probably like a month and a half is what I'm thinking, before we see the low for Bitcoin. And I do expect that to be around 34.9K. It can go lower. I don't think that we'll find a low that's a little bit higher than that. I would think that it would go at least there, if not lower. A lot of people are calling for 36K, which I don't understand. I really don't. Probably because of this weekly close right here, something like that. 36.3K, maybe. That might be why. But there's nothing relatively like condemning or convincing about that at all. Low to high, I mean, 236 is nowhere near that. 382 is way below that. You got your 123 moving average way down there. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's a moving average. You got nothing based on any relative fibs that makes sense with that. Let's mess around with this moving average real quick. Put the 50 on there. Nope. Look at that. I wonder. They're very close, the 50 and the 123. Maybe your 21. 21 is well above 36. I just don't know where this 36K number is coming from. It must be from this over here, but to me, that's not enough, really. Like, what, we held support on it once, and then we broke straight through it, and then we broke straight through it again. It's not enough for me. So I very much do think that we'll see prices around 34.9K, if not lower. But I'm expecting 34.9K personally. And I'll be probably saying that all the way down. I will call for moves that I think are going to go up or down, as I did with this, right? I did call for this move to go up to about 43.5K. Here we are topping off at 43.8K. I called for that here. We did go a little bit lower afterwards, but nonetheless recovered and went up. It makes sense. I very much do think, we're in a downtrend. We got this lower highs in the RSI here, looking like we want to go down to the oversold zone. What we probably do with this is we actually get into the oversold zone. We find a low in the price. We have some kind of recovery again, come back down to the RSI, form a higher low, but then finish this move with our final low. We'll have the higher low in the RSI and the lower low in the price. Once we get oversold, that's how you'll know that we're coming to the end of this. But just because the RSI is in the oversold zone, by no means does that mean that we're done, right? And in fact, if we go back, let's just see the last time we were oversold was here, right? It's been a very long time since we've been oversold for Bitcoin, and it was here, Wednesday the 16th of, actually it wasn't that day, I'm sorry, it was the day after. It was this big day here, right? August 17th, 2023. And we did, actually that was the low, to be fair, but we did continue to we didn't move up from there. Plenty of time to buy. And then we did move up, and then nonetheless went lower after that over time. From August 17th to September 11th, essentially a whole month went by before we found our actual low, and then we started to move up. And even then we did it very slowly. So, but this was kind of, no, it wasn't. Never mind. I was about to say toward the end of the bear market, but that was way back here, actually. It just had a similar look to it, in my opinion. But you guys will notice this, man. I noticed this, but Bitcoin, whenever it has these flash crashes and it consolidates, you get that little peak, like right in the middle, like literally right there, and then it comes down, right? Same kind of thing here. You had a little peak here, like of this range. It was kind of like right in the middle, and then you started moving up again, you know. And maybe not the middle of this whole range, like as an entirety, but I don't know. There's probably other examples of that too. Kind of here, I don't know. I feel like I'm reaching with this one, but kind of you have your little like low range, then you got your little peak right there. Kind of, but that's not like the same look that I'm talking about. I don't know. Something like this. I just feel like that happens, man, whenever it's boring. And then it'll do one week or one day where it's really exciting, and then it comes down. But, man, I'm just talking at this point. So I think I've said everything I need to say. The price is probably going lower. That's my genuine opinion. As of right now, it wouldn't be crazy at all for the price to move up. Here you are at 42,000. Maybe move back up to like 43,000 to open up. Not open up the day, because technically the day's already open, but maybe like in the next 12 hours, we move up to about 43,000 again, but make no mistake, we're probably working our way down. Everything from here on out will be a lower high and a lower low until we see a price of about 34.9K, and even then we can still see lower lows. So with that, I leave you. If you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe to see more. February, I very much do think is a bullish month, but I predict that this February will close red, and that's all I got to say. So take care, and I'll see you on the next one.